Today, the nation's attorney general saying that he thought spying on a political campaign occurred in the investigations into Russian interference in the 2016 election.
I guess you could, I think spying did occur. Yes, I think spying did occur.
When you heard the word spying from the attorney general, what did you think, and what does that mean?
Well, I was very disappointed in what Attorney General Barr said today about spying.
Let me just say how very, very dismaying and disappointing that the chief law enforcement officer of our country is going off the rails.
Well, I thought it was both stunning and scary.
This was really a shameful moment for the Attorney General.
I'm flabbergasted.
My heart skipped a beat. This is a completely loaded term, completely false.
And for the Attorney General to say so is a stain on his reputation.
And that was perhaps the most shocking, to really have this dog whistle that was audible to all species.
This is off the rails. We cannot just adapt to absurdity.
It was a shame, I think, today to see Bill Barr, one of our nation's most respected lawyers, a two-time Attorney General, turn in his tortoiseshell glasses for a tinfoil hat.
You know, the term spying has all kinds of negative connotations.
But for the Attorney General to imply or to say that there was spying domestically, he knows the language very well and he knows the terminology.
I have to believe he chose that term deliberately.
Do you want to rephrase what you're doing? Because I think the word spying could cause everybody in the cable news ecosystem to freak out.
Do you think he ever landed on a clear explanation of what he was exactly saying?
Barr's not someone who said something just by accident.
We have never seen an official more openly flout the same rules he purports to adhere to.
Unauthorized surveillance. I want to make sure there was no unauthorized surveillance.
Okay, thank you.
Is that more appropriate in your mind?
This was an attempted coup. This was an attempted takedown of a president, and we beat them.
I think spying on a political campaign is a big deal. It's a big deal.
What we've seen and heard from the president in the past 5 days may be the biggest lie of all. Repeatedly, and with no facts to back him up, making the outrageous claim that the so-called deep state spied on his campaign.
This phony baloney story about a spy on the campaign. To call them a conspiracy theory is to give them too much credit.
The notion that somehow the FBI planted someone inside the campaign to spy on the campaign is just not true.
This unproven narrative of a spy being placed inside his campaign.
Did the intelligence community spy on President Trump and his campaign?
No, we did not.
What about this notion that there was a CI, a confidential informant, embedded in the campaign? Is that true?
Well, as we've seen, unfortunately, the identity of this informant is now out in the media. And if you know, this is a fairly benign tool available to the FBI, given all the other capabilities available to them.
The chief law enforcement officer of our country is going off the rails.
You better think again, Mr. President. You've been around for 13 months. We've been around since 1908. I know how this game is going to be played. We're going to win.
Let me give you one bottom line. As a former government official, government's going to kill this guy.
But he's taking these shots, this antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you.
What I'm most interested in is getting started on going back to the origins of exactly where this all started.
If it weren't for President Obama, we might not have done the intelligence community assessment that we did that set off a whole sequence of events which are still unfolding today, notably Special Counsel Mueller's investigation. President Obama is responsible for that, and it was he who tasked us to do that intelligence community assessment in the first place.
Flawless victory.